Colorado Sports Connection.
Denver touchdown. A great job making the catch. They got both feet down. The Broncos will have the football on their 20.
Carmelo Anthony
Found the opening, and it's put down.
Nice up and under, and the finish. Great footwork.
Anderson had a pad down on the ice and somehow stopped it. Great sequence for Craig Anderson.
Two-run single for Todd Helton, and the Rockies take the lead in the third inning, 2-1.
Hello everybody and welcome to Colorado Sports Connection. We're coming to you from Big Bill's New York Pizza in Centennial. I'm your host, Daryl Navarro for Colorado Sports Connection. And today we have a very special guest. He played a big part in Denver sports history and was part of the M&M connection. And that is my guest, Haven Moses. Haven, my first question for you is, I ask all my guests this. How did you make your little journey here to Colorado?
Well, Daryl, I wish I could have been right out of college when I was first drafted, but I was originally drafted by the Buffalo Bills in 1968, and I was traded to Denver 4 years later.
You know, my football career was cut short, as a wide receiver. I could catch, and I had pretty good speed, go over the middle. I just couldn't do all three at once. So tell us a little bit about, how making that transition from college to the NFL.
Well, Daryl, it's called multitasking. First you have to put all those things together to get to that next level. But I was very fortunate. I graduated from San Diego State University. And at that time, there was a coaching staff of Don Coryell, John Madden, Joe Gibbs, Rod Dahauer, Ernie Zampese. And they were very young in their careers as coaches. But Coryell was Eric Coryell at that time. And that prepared me for pro ball. I mean, you come out of that system as a quarterback, as a receiver, running back, and defensive back. You pretty much were on target to be able to play at the next level.
And then going to Buffalo, after playing for a coaching staff like that, you obviously had different quarterbacks, yes. A different system. Explain that.
Well, the difference was spending all much of my life to that point in Southern California, and then all of a sudden ending up on the other side of the United States in Buffalo, New York, which was one of the coldest cities in our country. But the transition was more of one just having the ability to adapt to, and that's what Coryell was about, and his system was about, being able to adapt each week, each player, and being able to succeed in whatever environment that you're in.
Now, out of those three coaches, which one do you feel really assisted you for the NFL?
Coryell, no question. I mean, Eric Coryell, from a passing standpoint, we worked out with the Chargers during the offseason when I was at San Diego State. They would come over to campus and have their little workouts, and I would work out with John Hadel and Lance Allworth, and some of the, and be pretty much affected by, their way of thinking at that level, and getting a better understanding sure. of, how they approach it. So in college, I was pretty much, not that I expected to play pro ball, but it was one that definitely made the transition that much easier.
So you go from San Diego to Buffalo. Then tell us how you went from Buffalo to Denver.
Well, Daryl, that's a long story, but in a nutshell, it was a trade of convenience. There was a situation that took place here between two players, Lyle Alzado and Dwight Harrison. And it was not very nice. And things weren't working well for me in Buffalo. Lou Saban, who had just been fired by Denver the prior year, took over the helm in Buffalo. And we also had a running back named O.J. Simpson, which obviously, with his record, about how prolific he was as a running back. Well, Lou Saban was turning that team into a running team, so receivers were optional. And the situation that happened here in Denver and my falling out of favor with Lou Saban in Buffalo just made it a trade of convenience.
What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, I'm going to ask you about meeting the Denver Broncos fans.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll continue our talk with Haven Moses right here on Colorado Sports Connection.
One thing about Castle Pines Jewelers is that you'll always walk away with a good experience. We have quality jewelry, it's one-of-a-kind pieces, it's custom design. We have our unique style, and it's your style also that you can put into it. We have a full shop on premises. We create a lot of our pieces here. We're not your average jewelry store. We're your hometown jeweler. We've been in the area for a long time. We love what we do for our community here.
Visit Castle Pines Jewelers. One-of-a-kind jewelry for one-of-a-kind customers.